it's a fun spot. Christy and I are committed to having women feel good about themselves.
Welcome to Insights with Marcia, where today we have a bold and beautiful guest. Hilary Gilbert is here. She has a brick and mortar clothing store called Bold Bungalow that we are dying to hear about. And she's the perfect entrepreneur because she's got a fabulous figure. And so she's going to give us some insight into what it's like with the weight loss drugs. She's been one of the very successful ones. So Hilary, just give us a little quick background about you.
Well, I am from Dallas originally, grew up in actually Garland, Texas.
All right.
I am married for the last 15 years to my sweet husband, Eric. We have 2 kids, a girl that is 6th grade, 12 and a half, and a little boy that's 9.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Perfect ages.
Yes, we are busy.
Fun.
Yes.
Yes. Well, as a nurse practitioner who's been in the wellness industry forever, I think the weight loss drugs are fascinating. I love them. And I understand from my former business, Naturally Slim, how they work perfectly with the Naturally Slim concepts. Because I really say that Naturally Slim taught people how to eat the way the weight loss drugs are making them eat.
That's right.
Slowly, in moderation,
right.
Thinking about hunger, can I really eat right now, that kind of thing. But I'm wondering, what made you what made you finally go, okay, I'm going to try it?
Well, I had 2 children. And when I got pregnant with my son, I was in the best shape I'd ever been in. I weighed less than I did on my wedding day. I had been working out consistently. And of course, got pregnant, and I thought, oh, well, that didn't last very long. And I was also 38 years old when I got pregnant with him. So I knew getting the baby weight off was going to be a challenge. Mm-hmm. And it proved to be, so much so that I really didn't work very hard at it and just continued to gain over those next few years. Every time I ate, I felt bloated. My digestion was off, and I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good about myself, and it was the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. And a friend of mine came in, and she had lost a ton of weight, and I said, what is going on? What has happened? And she said, I went to an endocrinologist, and he put me on a sugar blocker, and It's been amazing. And I was like, okay. So I called that endocrinologist that day, made an appointment, went and saw him, and he mentioned Ozempic, and it was very new. It was not what everybody was talking about. I hadn't heard anything about it. And I said, he was like, do you want to lose weight? And I said, yes, but I also want to feel better.
Yes.
And we tried it, and it was a success.
Wow. So about what year was that?
That was probably 2020, I guess, because we had come through COVID.
Okay, so you were
somewhere around there, 2020,
yeah. You were kind of ahead of your time.
Yes,
definitely.
Yes.
So, what were your expectations? How much had your friend lost?
She probably had lost, I don't know, 25 pounds. She wasn't.
That can make a big difference.
She wasn't overly overweight to begin with, but I mean, it was a dramatic loss when you saw her. So, my expectation, I was excited to lose 10 to 15 pounds.
Yeah.
And I just thought it would kind of jumpstart.
Totally. Yeah. So what were you expecting? Or you didn't know what to expect?
I didn't know what to expect. I was hopeful.
Yeah.
And I just kind of had a why not attitude. Nothing else was working. I had 2 small children. I mean,
oh, wow.
We were, I'm not a cook. My husband handles all the cooking and the grocery shopping.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
Probably because I'm terrible at it all. But I just wanted to get the weight off, really,
Yeah. How much did you want to lose? Or you don't have to say that.
No, I'm happy. I'm an open book. I wanted to lose, like I said, I really was happy with 20 pounds at that point. That was going to get me back to what I was right before I had gains. And I thought, that'll be great.
I love it. I love it. So what changes did you see in your body? And let me throw this little caveat in there. When people used to lose weight with Naturally Slim, it was like after about 1 year, their body went through a bit of a metamorphosis
Mhm.
and everything kind of evened out,
Mhm.
and and it was gone from where they wanted it. So what
Mhm.
did you notice about, oh, I can buy,
Right.
put the belt on a
So
lot.
I have always had a small waist and somewhat of a flat tummy. I carried my weight in my hips and my rear. And obviously I wanted in my thighs and I just wanted that to go down. But I had gained so much weight that I was thick in the middle.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to feel like myself again and see
Yeah.
some sort of resemblance of what I had looked like before. Um, it was slow to begin with. I mean, the
Mhm.
first, I don't know, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, I only lost about 4 pounds. So I was
Wow.
kind of discouraged, thinking this
Yeah.
isn't going to work. And then it just started falling off.
Wow.
And I ended up losing a total of 43 pounds.
Wow.
Yes.
That's neat.
Yes. So
That is really
I
cool.
was I was almost what I weighed in high school, which again
Yeah.
wasn't my goal. It was happening and I felt great and I liked the way I looked. I liked the way I felt in my clothes
Yeah.
again. So,
Yeah. So were you interested in clothes already at that time
oh
when you were
yes.
selling?
Oh
Oh
yes,
yeah.
always.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
But were you selling them yet?
I had always had, so my first job out of school was with Neiman's, so that was my first exposure to the fashion industry and retail.
Mhm.
Um, and so I knew I liked it. My grandparents had been in retail. My grandmother had a store at North Park. I learned later.
Oh, wow.
So, I knew that I enjoyed that.
Yes.
And so I had throughout early years of marriage, it always kept my toe in the water in
Yes.
some way of being in retail, whether it was working part-time in a store or I worked for a commercial real estate firm for a while that managed retail properties. So I had
Perfect.
kind of kept my toe in the water.
Yeah, that was smart. That was
Mhm.
smart. And so, what kind of habits? Well, no, I think I want to ask you this first. What do you think made the difference between those first few weeks that were really slow and then all of a sudden it just happened? Or you don't know what caused it?
No, yes. The food noise in your brain completely
Yes.
shuts down. And so
Nice.
even though those first few weeks it wasn't falling off, I was not hungry. I was having to tell myself to eat.
Mm.
And I mean, it was one of those things like nothing tasted that great.
Mhm.
Alcohol was an absolute no-go. I could not
Wow.
stand it, which was helpful.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and I just thought I mean, at some point it's going to start
Yeah.
coming off because I had gone from, a certain caloric intake to very minimal.
Yeah.
But I was also tired. I mean, because you need to, fuel your body.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I missed the emotional tie with food.
Yeah.
We used food for everything, happy, sad, celebrate,
Mm-hmm.
mad, all the things. And
Mm-hmm.
so when that went away, I didn't really know what to
What to
do with
do?
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
there was some adjustments for sure.
Yeah. And so, what would you say your relationship is with food now? Like, oh no, we'll get to that. I've got a better ask a question for you. So now you're in maintenance mode.
Yes.
So tell us about what maintenance mode is back, and then we'll get into what
Okay.
you're.
So for me, so I still have my prescription from my endocrinologist. I see him twice a year and check in and does all my blood work and everything. So I stay current with my prescription, but I take half what would be my weekly dose.
Mhm.
I take it half of that once every 2 or 3 weeks.
That's awesome.
So for me, it just kind of takes the edge off. I'm not trying to lose anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to go back to obsessing about my next meal or, food in general. So
Yeah.
it just kind of helps
Keep the edge off.
keep the edge off.
So what's your relationship with food like now? And you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
so you
It's-
enjoy it.
I
but-
enjoy it. I enjoy it. I feel like I can, I eat whatever I want, but it's very small portions. And that's not necessarily, I mean, it is intentional, but it's also because I don't want to feel bad. If
Yeah.
I overeat, I don't feel good. I feel bloated and I have indigestion.
Yes.
If I eat a bunch of sugar, if I eat a bunch of carbs, like now I know I'm really going to be more satisfied if I, eat the burger without the bun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or, I'm going to trade, something else out for the fries. Now, I certainly have French fries all the time.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
You just don't eat the whole
But
order.
I just don't eat the whole order. And
Yeah.
I'll have a bite of, dessert or whatever.
Yes.
And so I'm completely satisfied
Yeah.
by food.
And I love it that so much what Naturally Slim people say. We used to always say, you really don't taste dessert past the first 3 bites.
Right.
I mean, any of you guys out there, go try it. Go eat it. Go eat your piece of pie or whatever. And once 3 bites are up, it's mindless eating.
Right.
And I'd have people come back to class and go, "Oh, I ate too much of that meal and it was miserable."
Yes, and that does happen. I mean, that still does happen. And I feel miserable. And you kind of lay there. And of course, I'm older now. And my husband and I joke, we're like, we cannot eat after 7 o'clock at night. We feel terrible. We get the meat sweats and all the other things. So it's just being educated and paying attention to what works for your body.
Yeah. And I think it's because your body, and none of this is even really, you have to blame it on getting older. It's just like you're now eating normal portions and you're like, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. I don't need to gorge
And I also
anymore.
tell myself, this is not my last meal.
There you go.
This is not the last time I'm going to have enchiladas.
Yes.
If I want to have them again, I can order them again tomorrow. So it's just like a constant conversation to keep yourself in check.
Yeah. I love that you said that because I even had a page in our manual basically saying that is not the last chocolate chip cookie you will ever see.
Right.
There will be another chocolate chip cookie. There will be another this. If you felt like you didn't get enough of it or didn't enjoy it or, oh my gosh, I can't turn it down. There's a cookie and I'm not even hungry. There'll be other cookies. But we don't see that in the moment as overeaters. We just go cookie. Cookie. Almost like an alcoholic goes, there's a drink right there.
For sure.
Oh, you're just doing it. What was your biggest surprise?
How much weight I lost.
Definitely.
That was my biggest surprise. That was not my expectation. And I felt so much better. The other thing that came along with it is their reaction to you have to kind of get okay with.
It's just like people hadn't seen you in a while.
People haven't seen you, or people that aren't buying into it, the reaction, you're way too skinny, you've gone too far, that kind of thing. And everybody has the right to their opinion, and that's fine. And there is a time after you lose that amount of weight, you do look gaunt. And I will say on the shot, there is a period of time where your body has not rebalanced yet and you look too skinny.
Yeah.
And then give it a few months and you'll plump back up.
Yeah. And that's what I mean about the 1 year.
Yeah.
It takes about a year. And I would just see everybody.
Totally.
They'd keep coming back to class because it was free to keep coming back to my live class. And after a year, we go,
yeah. And my weight didn't change. I stayed at the same number, but you just kind of fill back out, which you look healthier that way.
So what advice would you give to somebody who's thinking, ooh,
do
that
it.
works good for her. I wonder if I should do it.
Do it. And, Ozempic is what I started with. It changed through the time period I was on it consistently, just because at that time it wasn't easy to get, and then so they were coming out with all these other drugs, Mounjaro, Wegovy, all of them. And so my husband and I both would just kind of go with whatever, we could get our hands on through our doctor. And so, and I have a ton of friends that, tried Ozempic and that didn't make them feel good. Well, keep trying till you find the right fit. And now there's so many more options than there were 5 years ago.
Yes. So you went to an endocrinologist. Did you see, me as a nurse practitioner, did you notice anything significant in your lab work? Or are you plenty healthy? It doesn't matter. Mine did not change. Mine was pretty healthy. I have good genetics, thankfully. My husband's changed dramatically. Awesome.
He has horrible genetics, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all the things, and all of that. When we got on it, it was kind of like, do we tell anybody? I don't know. We didn't know it. We loved our endocrinologist, but at the time we were new to him. We didn't know if he was a quack, but we didn't care because we just wanted the medicine. It was working.
Yeah.
But it took about a year for my husband to finally tell our GP. And he said, stay on it. It is working for
Awesome.
you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I like what works. So, do you have, let me ask you this one, because in Naturally Slim, what we notice after looking at thousands and literally hundreds of thousands of food diaries, most people are only hungry twice a day.
Oh, for sure.
And it makes total sense when you think about when we were 3 times a day hungry people and we worked on a farm.
Right.
And here we drive a car, and we're on our phones all day long. So how many times a day do you get hungry?
Twice. I am not, I mean, I'm not a get up and eat breakfast person.
Yeah.
No one in my family is. Sad to say, my kids do
That's
not leave
okay.
the house with a hot
Well,
breakfast in their belly.
The cereal company started that breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Yeah, I have not ever been that way. If it's Saturday and we're eating breakfast at 11:30, I'm all in.
That sounds good.
I love to have my main meal of the day be lunch.
Mhm.
I think partly because it's kind of social.
Mhm.
I also have I'm hungry at lunchtime.
Mhm.
And I like to have kind of a big comforting meal at lunch and then kind of a light dinner.
Mhm. You're totally normal from everything we've observed
Great.
since 1978 with
Wonderful.
Naturally Slim. That's just an interesting concept. We'll take 1 second to tell our audience. Most people are hungry twice a day, and I used to do it like this. Like for me, I'm like you. I want lunch.
Yeah.
And at dinner, I want dinner.
Yeah.
And if somebody finds that both meals are the same size plate of same amount, you're probably not listening to your body. You're just listening to your appetite.
Right.
Because we literally will be one way or the other. And you and I have more problems because what does our culture do?
Right.
You eat a sandwich or something for
Right.
lunch, and then you go get a steak and baked
Right.
potato
Right.
and the veggie for dinner. Dinners are usually larger.
Right. So what has happened now with my husband and I, we split at dinner all the time. And even if I say, I don't know, I'm feeling really hungry, I didn't have a big lunch today, he'll be like, well, let's split and then we can get more.
There you go.
If you're still hungry, we can get more, which you never are.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's so comforting to the mind. Like,
yes.
Yes. More, okay. This is not the last supper.
That's
right.
right.
The last meal.
That's right.
Do you have a favorite snack, or what's your go-to food? Or what
I love a Ritz cracker.
Yeah, I love a Ritz cracker with the peanut butter.
And I love a Ritz cracker. And when I was really full on the shot and had no appetite, but around 9 o'clock every night, I would get a stack of Ritz crackers.
Mm-hmm.
And that was delicious and it was enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. And so obviously you feel like you're not emotional eating right now.
No.
Isn't that refreshing? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is refreshing, but I will say something to pay attention to is if you've got to make sure your mind is getting healthy along with your body. For someone that is emotionally reliant on food, that's not going to change.
Right.
It's just not. If you're using food as a crutch or food as a comfort, that's not gonna change just because you're not having the physical feeling of hunger.
Yeah, that's the greatest advice from the whole everything we've talked about so far. Taking care of you and learning how to take care of you and your emotions. I love that. So let me think here. Is there a particular exercise that you like?
I've done Pilates for years, on and off, more off recently.
Well, you have 2 kids like yours.
Well, it just, when I started my business, I was like, I'm going to have to put that on hold for a second. But yeah, that's my favorite. I like low impact. I'm not a cardio person. I don't mind, I like going for a walk in the neighborhood. I would love to be that girl that gets up at 6, gets your walk in and gets the kids off to school. That's not how it's working out right now. I'm trying to do Pilates twice a week, and some weeks are better than others, but I love the strength training of it.
Yes.
I do find now that I've lost the weight, you can see a difference very quickly in your body when you are committed to an exercise program. Especially my upper body, I could tell it toned up very quickly when you're not fighting through, 43 extra pounds of.
Isn't that the truth? Wow.
Yeah. So,
yes.
And I feel stronger.
Yeah.
It's just like everything's a little bit closer to the surface.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Okay. We're going to move on to talking about your clothing business, but is there anything else you want people to know about use of the weight loss
I mean, I
medicines? What
just
would
would say
change?
try it. If you're on the fence, try it. Just I mean, the self-confidence I gained alone is
Yes.
worth it. Obviously, the health, healthy, um, healthy effects are most important. But just if you're using your weight as an excuse or a defense
Mm-hmm.
to not do something,
Mm-hmm.
get that checked out first.
Yeah.
Then lose the weight, and you'll be in good
That,
shape.
yeah, that sounds wonderful. Okay, so you've always been into the retail space and into
Yes.
clothing.
Yes.
So I think you did it wonderfully to start out in your home first.
Yes.
Too many people just go spend a ton of money and get started in something
Yep.
and they're not quite ready yet. So tell us about the journey of
So
your toe in the mortar till you got a brick and mortar.
Okay, so it's actually my very best friend, Christy Hauser. It was her dream to have a store. She and I met about 24 years ago. She hired me to be the assistant manager at a store she was managing. So we became friends, and then our careers just kind of stayed parallel over the next several years. She had retired. She had most recently been the manager at Christian Dior and had retired. And I think it was right around, I think we were in COVID, or I can't remember now. But anyway, she had said to me at my birthday lunch, we were sitting on the patio drinking champagne, and she said, I just want to have my own store, but I'm scared. I said, what are you scared of? It's retail. I mean, what's the big deal? Not curing cancer here. And she said, I'm scared to fail. And I said, well, you know what? I said, in this day and age, we don't have to have a store. I said, we can just do it online and let's see what happens. I said, let's just go to market and see what we see and do it. And that was like on a Wednesday, and the next Thursday we were at market.
Oh my gosh.
Literally did not know what we were doing. And she has a walkout basement at her house, and she said, I have this big space and we can
fill it up,
kind of operate there and see what happens. And I was like, okay, so that's what we did.
I love it. So did people make a point? I guess they made a point.
So yes, we launched an Instagram page. We launched a website. We were by appointment only for a long time. And then we thought, well, why don't we make it where we're open every Wednesday? You don't have to make an appointment. And so we did that for a while, and that definitely got us some more foot traffic as far as, people feeling comfortable to come in. But, I mean, if you're going to someone's house that you don't know,
yes,
and you've got these two girls, there, it's a small space, it's a little intimidating.
Yes.
And I think we realized over the, last year, like, hey, we're doing well, we're doing better than what we ever expected, but like, I don't think I would just walk into someone's house to go shopping.
Right.
So our expectation of growing the in-person shopping experience, is that realistic? And so we had toyed with opening a place and looked at a couple spaces, and I very quickly would be like, this isn't it. This isn't it.
Feel it.
I could feel it. And we had kind of laid it to rest. And to the point where we were like, oh, aren't you so glad we don't have a space? We were traveling, and, like, I didn't want to be committed to time frame and managing people. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad. And then, I don't know, about 6 months ago, she called and said, this broker from Preston Royal just called me out of the blue. And
no,
there's a space over there. Let's just go look at it. And so we did. And I mean, it literally just kind of fell into place. They, let us do a short-term lease for us to try it out. So it's not a huge commitment.
Yes.
The rent is very attainable for us. It's a perfect size space. It's not too big.
It's a great location.
And it's a great location. We have tons of foot traffic, and it has just taken off.
That is so fun. So how many years between the basement to the store?
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, 3 years.
And tell everybody again the name of it.
Bold Bungalow.
Okay. Which corner is it?
It is in the northwest corner next to La La Land Coffee, between Newhouse Cafe and La La Land.
Okay. Oh, I know exactly. I like Newhouse.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like Bold Bungalow.
Yes.
I have a feeling your fashion style is kind of around bold.
Yes.
Tell me about your fashion style and what
Oh,
kind of clothes y'all see and how that's a part of you guys.
yes. So we wanted to do something that we didn't feel like was already being done,
There you
obviously.
go.
We love a lot of color and pattern and, just an uplifting environment. And every time someone comes in, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so fun in here and it's so happy. And we are committed to buying things that you don't see in other stores. So, we try really hard when we're at market, who else is carrying the line and what did they get? And there's space for everyone. We do not
Yes.
have a territorial attitude at all. And,
It's smart.
oftentimes with Dallas obviously being a huge retail town, a lot of times they're like, oh, well, so-and-so carries that. You can have it. Okay, great. Or, vice versa. We really want to be in community with all these other women-owned businesses, supporting each other. And we have made great friends that are other store owners. And it's been a really neat experience.
Cool. And what do you want a woman to feel like? What's going to happen when she walks in the door?
Welcome.
I like
Welcome
that.
and so comfortable. My gosh. I mean, a woman came in yesterday that literally had just moved here from California. She was navigating private schools and just blown away. They moved from California to get more of a conservative situation, and the school she's at was not providing that. And so we didn't even know her name, and we had a 2-hour sit down, like, let's get to the bare bones of the situation. And when she left, I looked at Christy and I was like, now how do you know her? And she was like, we just met. She just came in here. I thought they had like grown up together or something, so it's it's community. People come in all the time and they'll run into someone they know.
That's cool.
And that's fun. Or, hey, my friend told me to come, and we chit chat, and it's been surprising for me. I'm a little bit of a loner. And it's been a pleasant surprise how uplifting and just what a community it's become.
And I can see that because when you said loner, I would say introvert. I'm a bit of an introvert. I love stuff like this and I get energized from being with people. But then, can I please go home and just read something in my comfy
My
chair?
husband tells me I'm an extroverted introvert.
Me too.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. So what do you see different about you now versus 10 years ago?
Oh my gosh. Well, 10 years ago, I had a 2.5-year-old and a newborn.
My, yeah.
Yes. My precious stepdad had passed away right before I had my daughter. So my mom was widowed. I'm an only child. So it was really rough. Our marriage, was changing because we had these 2 kids, and Eric was getting his career. It was picking up tremendously, and that was fun and stressful. And I was trying to figure out how to stay relevant.
Yes.
And not complete, I had my children at 35 and 38. So I had been an adult for several years before becoming a mom, and trying to figure out how to hang on to some of that and be the best mom. And I don't know that I was doing anything well. I was getting it all done,
you were
but
just surviving.
I was surviving.
When you have little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surviving. But it was fun. I mean, now I look back on it, I'm like, gosh, that was a sweet time.
Yeah.
It was challenging, but it was a simpler time,
Yes.
They were little. We weren't worried about schools and
yes.
I don't know. It just was, and then COVID hit, and things got real simple.
Things got real simple.
Things got real simple.
Stay home.
Yeah.
But you know what? We introverts, I did fine.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get to stay home.
I did fine up until the point where I had to homeschool my first grader.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's just not my DNA.
Yeah. I think we were in denial. I mean, a little bit of denial when all that went on.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, anything else you want to tell us about the store before I kind of switch directions?
It's a fun spot. Christy and I are committed to having women feel good about themselves. And we have experienced both ends of that, and it's an ongoing. I mean, this is the weight loss thing is not a end all be all answer to all your problems.
Right.
For sure not.
No.
It did launch me into being able to do something that I never, A, didn't know I wanted, and B, have turned out to be pretty good at.
Yeah.
But Christy and I love when someone comes in, they're looking for something that they need for a certain party or event, and we can meet their needs and have them feeling beautiful,
Awesome.
and confident.
And do you still sell online?
Yes.
Oh, what's your web
Oh, yeah.
address?
It's theboldbungalow.com. Yes, we ship.
Theboldbungalow.com.
Yep. Very active website. The website audience has continued to grow through this.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah,
Mhm.
it can't beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so with all of this, what is it that keeps you grounded?
Oh my gosh.
Or a certain daily routine that
Holy
keeps you grounded?
Spirit, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
constant communication. My daily routine, one of the things I love about my mornings is my kids are pretty self-sufficient. I've trained them early on. When they come downstairs, they're ready to roll. They're ready to walk out the door. I love, though, that I get up 10 minutes before them, get in the kitchen. I'm waiting to greet them, got their backpacks ready, no matter what mood they're in.
And you never
Changes
know.
with a 12-year-old girl. It
Yeah.
changes. But I feel like a very good mom on those mornings that I can look at them and make sure they are feeling good walking out the door. We read a little devotional every morning. I don't know if they're listening to me, but we read it.
Awesome.
And then it's, I turn on the Today Show. It's my favorite show on television. I do a couple loads of laundry. I get on my computer, and then I sit down and spend some time with the Lord.
That's nice. I like that.
And those are the days that turn out to be the best days.
Mm-hmm. Who has been the biggest influence in your life or mentor?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, I saw this question come up, and I'm like, I don't know that I could name one person, but I could tell you that the way I do business now, and the type of, I hate to say boss, we have a part-time staff that's precious. I don't feel like I'm their boss, but the way we interact, I definitely have been influenced by past bosses I had, good and bad. I also think Christy and I have a really healthy perspective on the non-seriousness of what we do,
That's good.
And, honestly, Christy's been an influence in my life. She's 10 years older than I am. She's an unwavering friend to me. And I wouldn't have done this if she didn't want to do it.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's neat. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh gosh. I saw a picture of me recently at a Beyonce concert from, I don't know, 15 years ago, and I would say, change your outfit. It was horrible. Leopard harem pants on a size 12, 14 girl, not the best look. Eric, my husband, has two quips that he says often. One of them is, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. Which has so much meaning. If I look back over, the last 2.5 decades of my life, I wish I had heard that, repeatedly at 22. And then that rejection is protection. And throughout this whole process with starting our business, Christy and I would say, God, bless it or block it. Bless it or block it. And he blocked it many times, and we're so grateful.
Yeah.
But then it was so obvious when it was the right time. So I think those are things that I have on repeat in my head.
I like that. I like that. Okay. Well, a reoccurring theme in my podcast is we all have a purpose, and then that purpose affects our passion. And then we all have a destiny, but that's really, to me, that's hard to figure out until you're maybe much later in life.
Yes.
And then, but there's seasons of life. So an illustration I gave people was, I loved motivating people and helping people. And so it came out as being a nurse, and then a nurse practitioner. And now it's coming out this way. And when I say coming out, the passion changes with the seasons of life. So what would you say for you? What do you feel like your purpose is? What is it that juices you?
Right now, I love that I'm able to have my business and show my kids that there's more than traditional roles of wife, mother. my kids are very proud of the store. They love to come up there. They love to tell their friends about it, and I
Oh,
think that's neat.
yes.
My mom was not, she did not have a career. She didn't work. And there were times in our family where it would have been helpful if she
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And I just, I never want that to be the case for my kids. And I also like just, you know, can take care of us if I needed to.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Then I have some lightning round questions
Okay.
for you. Okay. What is your go-to confidence color?
Turquoise, always.
I like that. Okay. What's your style icon or brand that inspires you?
There is a girl, and I'm 47. She's probably 10 years younger than me, but I came across her a few years ago. Her name's Blair Edie. She has a fashion blog called Atlantic Pacific, and literally everything she puts on, I mean, she's fabulous. She's great with pattern and color and high, low. She's fantastic. So I would say she is definitely someone that I will look up and see what you got going on.
Okay. What's your biggest fashion? Don't do it.
Rhinestones.
Hmm?
Rhinestones.
Right.
Never.
Never. You think they'll ever come back?
Especially with camo. No, like never.
With camo.
Yeah. I also am not a big fan of like talking clothes, like,
Mhm.
you know, #blessed and all that.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
What song do you like to move to?
Oh, always Gypsy, Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. Coffee order?
Straight up black.
Straight up. Okay. Do you have a particular scripture or quote?
Yes. Proverbs 31:25. She is clothed in strength and dignity and laughs without fear of the future.
I like that. I like that. And one word, what season of life or what's going on in your
my
life
gosh.
right now? Or you can use 2 words, 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's a challenging time. Challenging in good ways. You know,
Yes.
it's challenging me to be better, to be
Mhm.
more present. I'm learning that things are hard. I, you know, typically want to escape. I think that's part of my introvertism. And God's always telling me, lean in, lean in, lean in, lean in. And when I do that, the reward is bountiful. And when I don't, the consequences are great.
I think it's so cool how you're talking about the different phases. Like, I thought, what would you say, Marcia, if you were Hilary at that time? I'd be like, crazy. But then when you look back, you go, no, it was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Right.
Life's just, you know,
It was simple.
always been simple. And now this one's totally off the wall for anybody listening. And I don't tell my daughters this because it seems like all we ever hear about is the world is coming to an end.
Right.
I have one friend that calls me and tells me the latest on social media, and it's, you know, the underlying tone is the world is coming to an end. And I told my daughter that I graduated high school in 1976. And back then we were afraid the communists were going to take us over. And it was a legit kind of thing back then. There was definitely this evil communist regime. There was the Iron Curtain and everything else. And I said, you know, all the different things in those last decades that I could have worried about, if I had known, don't even bother worrying about any of them. You know, if
I find such comfort in not having to worry.
Yes.
Because I know where I'm going. I know where my kids are going. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
That's best news ever. If he's coming back tomorrow, we're ready.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Yeah. Cast our cares on him.
That's right.
My one thing would be get rid of worry. What is your favorite outfit that makes you feel unstoppable?
There is a skirt that we bought our first season that is by a brand called Les Superb that I don't know. The rep must have been just having a good day because there's no reason he should have sold it to us. We were brand new. We had no store. I don't know. We sweet talked him. And anyways, it's a denim skirt and it has underlaying layers of tulle. And it's an ivory khaki color. You've seen me wear it, but it's my favorite thing. And it's just a kind of a showstopper.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mine is this black leather thing that was a Carlisle and put on my black boots.
Yeah.
And it looks like a professional woman at the same time as just
it's one of those things like people will love it and they all love it and they're like, but I could never pull it off. And I'm like, yes, you can, but thank you.
And I think there's a big underlying tone of what you want to teach people.
Yes, you can. You can.
Try it
Yes.
on. You
Yes.
can. Fake it till you make
That's
it.
right.
Just put it on.
One of our favorite things is when someone will come in and say, okay, I can't wear this, I can't wear that. And we're like, just try it and we'll do it this way. Or, like your body type for you, you should always be in a V-neck, or you should always pop the collar. That's my number one tip.
Yes.
Always pop the collar.
Yes.
And just teaching people, it's just little things that are going to elevate. Christy's thing is the third thing. Yeah, you can have a shirt and jeans on, throw a sweater over your shoulders, put a scarf around your neck. Like it's just the third thing that not everybody else is doing.
I like that. The third thing. True.
Mm-hmm.
Any other good fashion tips?
I think that's all I got right now.
I bet once you get in your mode
I know.
and you start pulling the clothes off the racks, that it's just a ball.
Yes, it is really fun.
Yes.
It is really fun.
Is there anything else you want our audience to know as far as the weight loss, the fear? What are you going to tell somebody that's afraid of? Because you said it. Christy said, I'm afraid of failure.
Yes.
And that's what about 50% of the culture says. I'm afraid of failure. What are you going to tell them that want to be an entrepreneur?
You need to surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up. Christy recently said to me, you are a truth teller. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, you tell the truth, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
And if I had come to you and said, I want to do this, you would have said, I don't think that's a good idea, or that's not a good fit, or, and we've had over the last 3.5 years, hard conversations and disagreements. But what is so wonderful is that our friendship, it's more really like a sisterhood now. That she joked and said it's not like a marriage right now because we're like ships passing in the night and only talking about work. But she said, you're a truth teller, and, surround yourself with people who see you for who you are and who know your strengths and that want to champion you. I think sometimes with women especially, we're competitive with each other, and we're all guilty of that. I'm seeing it with my 12-year-old, and I'm seeing it with me at 47. And guilty 100%. Yeah. So surround yourself first with people that are going to help you get where you want to go, and then take the risk. What's the worst thing that's going to happen?
Right.
Play it out.
That's a good one.
Play it out. So if this doesn't happen, so what? If this doesn't happen, so what? And at the end of the day, it's usually probably not too catastrophic.
I like that. Yes. And I love people like you that tell it like it is. I know who I can go to. And Candace is one of them. And I can say, what do you really think of this outfit? What do you really think of this idea? And you want somebody that's going to be honest.
That's right. And we have women in all the time, and they'll come out of the fitting room and we'll be like, I think we can do better. I mean, we don't want people walking around not looking good in our clothes. So we're going to tell you the truth.
Exactly. Okay. Anything else you want them to know?
I think that's it.
I think that's plenty. I think that's wonderful. So we are so glad that y'all joined us today. You might want to check out, if you're in the Dallas area or online.
That's right.
The Bold Bungalow. And I think you'll probably find some really fun, bright,
happy
cool clothes.
Happy clothes.
And if you're interested in the weight loss medications, talk to your provider. Give it a try. Just talk about your body and your labs and what it could do to you. And, the worst thing that can happen, people feel like everything is an all or nothing.
Right.
You could try it for a week and say it's not for me.
Right.
You could try it for a month and say it's not for me. You could try it for a week or month and say it is for me.
That's right.
Nothing's forever. We just need to get out there and try. So thanks for joining us for Insights with Marcia, and we hope to see you next time.